Going to go.
So I have to push OK.
Okay, so I think we are live. Let's see. 1 second. Okay.
Hi, Megan. Has my mom not made it on yet?
Okay, we are live.
Hi, greetings.
1 second. Hold
Oh,
on 1 second. 1 second.
oh, hi, Mom. Sorry, I didn't see you.
Okay. Awesome. So we are all on. So are we ready? So I'm going to go ahead and share it from my business page to my personal. If you would like to do the same from Joseph's ministry.
Give me some water, babe, please.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We'll get started in just a moment. Make sure I get this shared. Awesome. Okay, you ladies ready? Perfect. Awesome. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Megan Pinkney, and I am founder and CEO of Joseph's Ministry LLC. And I am here with our newest author, Miss Karen Irby. How are you doing, Miss Karen?
I'm fine, Megan. How are you?
Pretty good. And we also have a special guest, one of her lovely daughters. Cara, how are you doing?
Doing great today, Megan. Just
Good.
here for moral support, really.
Awesome. We love to have you for sure. So, Miss Karen, before we dive into the actual interview, tell the people a little bit about who you are and some of the amazing things that you have going on in your world.
All right. Well, first, to God be the glory. I
Okay.
am a believer, a retired school teacher. I taught first and second grade and then transitioned out of working with struggling students from kindergarten through fifth grade. I've been married 41 years to my handsome husband, the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Irby. We have four wonderful daughters, six grands, two adults, and four littles. I'm the oldest of five siblings. Our mom is on, I hope. Hello, mother. I enjoy researching on ancestry.com, journaling, reading, word searches. I enjoy baking ruby maize, sweet potato mini pies, and currently I'm learning to be still and focusing on being a professional grandmother.
I love it. I love a professional grandmother. I absolutely love that. I know the kids love that about you as well. So thank you for that amazing introduction. You did mention something unique that you love to do research on ancestry, which is kind of part of why we're here today. So we want to celebrate your launch of your new book entitled A World of Love. So tell the people a little bit about what the book is about and why you wrote this book.
The book is about my ancestors, mainly on my maternal side, my grandparents, Clarence and Louise Mills. It's a collection of short stories about the ancestors and in my family. And we went back about maybe six generations of tracking that, doing that research, tracking that information.
Wow. So that's pretty unique. A lot of people in this generation, they want things pretty fast, pretty quick, microwave, popcorn type situation. How long did it actually take you to do all of the research and actually put everything together in a book?
Well, actually, researching was became a passion of mine, and I started researching in 2012. I would mainly research during the summertime when I was off from teaching, and I would do a little research on the holidays, just a little at a time. I had my first DNA test in 2014. One of my regrets is that I didn't get the DNA of my grandmother before she transitioned in 2012. With the book, I went through my notebooks of research to kind of confirm things and to give information. Um, the book took me, my first draft was done in a year. And I, I wrote the book. I was inspired by my mom. She always told me, Karen, write these stories down when I was a teenager. Of course I didn't. I remember, Mom. Of course I didn't. Um, so then, life happened. College, marriage, children, career, ministry, grandchildren. But in October of 2023, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Mhm.
And after my surgery, and I was home resting, God dropped in my spirit to write. And I was like, to write. And I was watching a lot of Hallmark movies, and they were all about writers and writing. God dropped in my spirit to write. I was like, the short stories. Um, so I started my treatment and I continue writing. I pulled out an old CD from many years ago where Cara and I interviewed my grandmother, and there was her sweet voice. And I believe Cara was about 6 years old, and she interviewed her as well. So pulling out the CD, um, I started writing the book that my mom had asked me to write all my life, and it became my therapy during my treatment and recovery.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, I have so many thoughts and things that come to my mind because every time I go home to Louisiana, my mom, my aunts, they always tell us these stories from when they were growing up, you know, and every I enjoy it because I'm like, oh my God, just to imagine the life then. Like I wasn't even born yet. My sister wasn't born, you know. So just to imagine life at that point. So for you to take the time to do all of the research, do all of the everything, the background work, to put it in a book, not just for yourself, but for your family, you
Yes.
know? And the beautiful thing about writing a book is once you write the words down, once you get it published, it's sealed. Like the words are in the earth. You will never forget it. You know, the work has been done. So, you know, you have children and their children will be able to read it and their children will be able to read it and the stories can go on and they can continue to add to it and such things like that. So, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful journey that I'm sure that you went on. I have a question. What did you actually learn? I'm pretty sure you learned a lot from doing the research from your family, but what did you learn on this journey of researching your background and doing this writing process?
What did I learn? I felt like it was worth it. I learned that you do hit some bumps in the road. Things do happen. In the research, it was confirmation on some of the things that I heard, from my mom, my godmother Daisy, my cousins, my grandfather. I knew they lived in Southwest. My mom could remember a couple of the addresses, but as I started researching, I found like 4 properties that she owned, and and they had shared that, and it was just good to see it. What I learned about research is that you have to be patient. Okay. Sometimes you can work on it for hours and not come up with anything new, but you have to be patient and keep at it. Um, I learned that sometimes research can be surprising. Sometimes it can be a little painful, but that's life. That's life.
Wow, wow. Was there something that was like really shocking to you that you found out new doing your research?
Well, from my research, something shocking. I remember my family saying that our great grandmother was married like, 3 or 4 times. And to actually see, yes, she was, she really did believe in love and marriage. There were, there were certificates of marriage from, yeah, so that was because you listen and you hear and it's like, I'm sure they want a couple of boyfriends, but she was actually married 4 times, and I found all 4. The first one I wasn't quite sure, but it made sense, and that's it, putting the pieces together. It made sense because her first marriage, I think she was like 19.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Nice, nice. So, what is, in your opinion, what is the biggest benefit of someone doing this level of research for their own families?
I think it gives them a sense of completeness. Um, I think it builds their self-esteem, knowing where they come from and stories about their families. 'Cause especially um, with people today not being able, especially African Americans, not being able to track, family history, and even the research has come a long way. Um,
Right.
so on the female maternal side, I think my daughter had a DNA test, my oldest daughter, Kenitra, and it tracked the females to Sierra Leone. So that was new information that came out after the book. But
Wow.
the name of the tribe and thing, I think was also listed. But which female that
Yeah,
it stemmed from, I haven't been able to connect that. But I think it does give you a sense of pride. Um, Maybe have you sit up a little straighter and walk a little taller, knowing your history. I
yeah,
think research and sitting down and talking to our elders, and even though I know some history is painful for our elders to share, but that encourages us that if they can go through it, if they can deal with hard times, I can too. I can do it too. Yeah.
absolutely. And I think, on a different wavelength, I guess, it's also good to know, especially in the Black community, our health, what happens as far as in the bloodline.
Yes.
You can track that. So
Right.
what you don't know can hurt you. So
Right.
having that information and tracking it will help us in the present to know what's going on just in our bloodline,
Yeah.
how we could combat it on the spiritual side and the
Mhm.
natural side, things like that. So it's not just, oh, I have a cousin named, Sue, and that was it. But it's so much history and so much that can help us today if we only knew.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I agree. So I was just thinking about the surprising question. My great grandparents died 4 months within each other. My grandfather died in May, and my great grandmother died in September. I knew that,
Mhm.
but um, after writing the book, I found out that she died of stomach cancer. So that was surprising. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
That's the
do.
thing. So, yep, you did the work
Yeah.
to be able to have that information and to share it.
Mhm.
Someone may ask, um, just being curious, is someone ever too young or too old to do their family lineage?
No, I
Too
don't
young
think
or too
so.
old?
Just like I said at the beginning, that Cara interviewed my grandmother, her great grandmother, at 6 years old. And her voice is on the CD, asking her questions, and my grandmother responding. And it's really a treasure, because I would recommend that if you can record your elders,
Mm,
I mean, you can hear their voices
yeah.
from the tape, and I try to put it in the book of when my grandmother shared. If she giggled, if she smiled, if she laughed, if her gaze changed, if she looked sad, from what she was sharing, and
Yeah.
you can hear that in the CD. So I would highly recommend for people to, if they can, to make a audio of their elders speaking and sharing. Yes.
I love it. I love it. So I know your family is very proud of you of doing the legwork of putting everything together. So what advice or encouragement you would like to leave with the people today? Those who are in your family, friends,
Mhm.
those who may be watching, what type of encouragement would you leave with them today?
I would say interview your elders, find out your history, take a break from social media, turn off the TV, sit around the dinner table, share stories, go into the kitchen, just talk, and even for our elders, even if it's painful, share, because life comes with joy and it comes with pain. Life
Yeah.
happens. Um,
Yes.
but take the time. Take the time, because I feel like what you said earlier, I want this book to be an heirloom, for my family to pass on to the next generations. And the answers that I didn't get from my research, maybe this will be a roadmap for the next generation to dig a little deeper and find out what I couldn't find out.
Wow, I love
Yes.
it. And that's right because as we are moving into this more technological age, there's
Mhm.
going to be more access to information and easier and faster to get it and things like that. So I can totally see that. So where can people purchase your book, get in contact with you, follow you on social media? What is your information that you would like to share?
Well, first of all, they can get the book hopefully soon for a little sneak preview. And those are, yeah, those are my grandparents on the front cover from Amazon.
Yeah, we'll put the
And
link in the chat.
yes, and they can reach me on my email, irbyk741 mail.com. They can reach me on Facebook. I usually stroll. I don't usually post too much, but my husband is the king of posting. So if you reach out to him, Reverend Kenny Irby, he will also give me a message if I miss anything. And so I just pray that my family, first of all, I pray that God is pleased with the stories. I pray that my ancestors are pleased with the short stories and telling their stories. And I pray for my family and friends to read it. I hope to bring them some joy. They may share some tears. They may laugh. So I like to encourage people that read it to think about getting their family history.
Yeah, I
It's
love
important.
it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, we've been on this journey together, and it was such an honor to work with you and Cara to get to where we are today. But if you're watching and you're like, you know what, I want to write my story. I want to write a book. Reach out to Joseph's Ministry. This is exactly why we were created to help those individuals to get to your next level. So if you want to talk to us, please visit our website at www.josephsministryllc.com. Schedule an appointment and we can take it from there. But Miss Karen, thank you so much for
Thank
everything. Thank you for you taking the time out to do the research and wanting to share it with not only just your family, but also the world.
thank you. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your patience and your guidance. It was greatly appreciated.
It's my pleasure. So, guys, thank you so much for your time, and we will see you at our next author interview. Have a good
Thank
day. Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.